So, a Campbell soup facility in Toronto is going to be shut down, and they're going to be moved to America in North Carolina, Ohio, and Texas. And the excuse being given for this is that it's an old building, it would cost too much to renovate. And in my opinion, that's bullshit. In Toronto and Ontario, they have recently implemented the $15 minimum wage increase, so that probably had an effect. And also, Trump just recently implemented his tax policy, right? So, this is clearly the reason why these companies are going to Ohio, Texas, and North Carolina. Like, what do these three states have in common? They are all southern states as well, and they have probably low taxes, low corporate tax, and all these things. So that's why they're moving to the states. And Trudeau's stupid progressive policies are just going to keep driving businesses to America, where they're going to get paid more money, where they won't have to pay as much in taxes. And up until this tax bill, we had way less corporate taxes on businesses, so a lot of people decided to come to Canada instead. So this is going to force us to lower our taxes to stay competitive, which is a good thing. If Trudeau is smart, he will do this, but Trudeau and liberals are not smart. So they're going to keep raising taxes, they're going to keep with their progressive agenda, and then we're just going to keep getting further and further down the hole. And when the next economic recession hits, we're going to be in a really tough spot to get out of it. Because under Harper, we fared the best in pretty much the entire world in the 2008 recession because we had a conservative leader who didn't waste tons of money. Now, he wasn't perfect, but he definitely had control of the budget. But now we have Trudeau and the liberals in power, and they're just spending like willy-nilly. They're trying to do trade deals with China, and they're trying to push their progressive agenda on them, and they're like, no, fuck you. So then they don't even want to do a deal, so they essentially laugh in his face, and they go to America, try to impose their own rights, or try to impose things on them through the NAFTA deal. It'd be like, oh, you need to support unions, need to do this, you do this, otherwise you have no deal. And it's like we are on the losing end of that deal, Trudeau. You don't have this power to negotiate, right? Or not as much as you think. So all of these progressive policies are just going to drive more of our businesses over to America, and is actually going to create a brain drain from Canada, which has already happened in the past with our doctors, with other professions who want to get paid more. They're like, hey, you know what? Why don't I just go across the border and I can make 10 times the amount I can doing the same job here in Canada? That is where this thing is socialized. So, we really need to also be competitive in the market, so we need to lower our own taxes. And Trump doing this has created a cascading effect, I believe, or will create an effect where other countries will start to lower their taxes as well to stay competitive, because everybody's going to start moving their companies over to America, so they don't have to pay as much in corporate taxes. So what are other countries left to do? They're gonna have to lower their taxes as well, and that's good for everybody. Because before, what was happening is like America had the highest corporate, or one of the highest corporate taxes, so that kind of incentivized everybody else to kind of do the same, right? And now that they're doing it, and they're like one of the biggest players in the market, that is really going to force other people to do it, because otherwise America is just going to have more of a monopoly on the money, the wealth, the power in the world. So other countries are going to have to follow suit soon. And everybody's talking about, oh, Europe is the new leader. And no, they're not. Europe is shit. They are going to be overrun by Muslims in like 5 to 10 years. Their economy is not good, like is shit compared to America's, especially right now with their growth. So people thinking that Europe is now the leader of the world and stuff, that's just that's just because of social issues in their mind. Like, they say the right things. Trudeau, Macron, they say the right things to be the world leader, but in reality, Trump is the one who is making the moves. Trump is the one dictating what is going on right now, right? And people are following suit. And you look at North Korea, you look at all this shit, and the differences in their attitudes now. Like, he is a very effective leader, whether people think so or not. Like, he is actually, doing a lot. But nonetheless, hopefully Canada doesn't continue being retarded, and we need to get Trudeau out of office. Because if we can keep electing these people, they're going to keep promoting their progressive policies, because other countries will be smart and they'll be like, oh, okay, well, let's lower our taxes to compete. But not Canada, not Trudeau, not the Liberals here. Like, I don't know if his intentions are nefarious to fuck over Canada, or if he's just truly like a completely retarded prime minister. He just doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. So either or, it's not good. You don't want him as our leader anymore. But there's just so much propaganda in the news, CBC, all this shit, that it's hard for me to see him not being reelected, right? Like, Canada is just so fucked, so far left to some extent. Like, I think that there probably is a good amount of conservatives and stuff, but the amount of social pressure that is on Canadians to appear like, good and nice and polite makes us more prone to accept policies that are just detrimental to us and will actually hurt us in the long run. But we want to keep up that image of, oh, we're nice, we're good, we're this. Well, it's like, we need to forget about that. Who cares if the world thinks that we're mean and shit? We need to care about our own self-preservation. That is what matters most. So, if we lower taxes on businesses and this and that, we're like, oh, you're just cucking to businesses and you're a corp. Who cares? Let's just do what is best for our country. Who cares what outside forces say? Like I said before with Trump, their perception of America is down, tourism is down, blah, blah. Who cares? America is not dependent upon tourism. They're not a third world country anyways. And they have the majority of the bargaining power anyways. So it doesn't really matter what these other countries think of them. And they can be like, oh, they're so nice, they're so good. But if you only have 1.5% GDP growth or 2%, then who the fuck cares if people think you're nice? Wouldn't you rather have 4% growth or 3.5 to 4% growth each year and then have people think you're kind of a dick? I would much rather take the 4%, because then at least the people within my country are going to be a lot better off. They're going to have more money. So that's my opinion. But if you like my content, subscribe and have a good day. See ya.